Jamin Patel, Assistant Professor, Department of Pharmaceutical Technology. Welcome to the MOOC series, an initiative taken by the LJ Institute of Pharmacy. In our today's session, we will discuss about gastroretentive drug delivery system. Means we will discuss the dosage form that retain in the stomach for the long period of the time. So let's move to the today's topic, that is the gastroretentive drug delivery system. Now, in this formulation, our dosage form remain in stomach for the long period of the time. What is the advantage of this gastroretentive drug delivery system? So delivery of the drug with the narrow absorption window in the small intestinal region is that the gastroretentive system is advantageous. The longer residence time is achieved. Okay, it is advantageous for the local action. Third main advantage, that is the improve the bioavailability is expected for the drug that are absorbed rapidly upon the release in the GI tract. Now, which type of drug is a suitable candidate for gastroretentive drug delivery system? Suppose some of the drug is utilized to treat the local infection in the stomach. Suppose the stomach ulcer is there, otherwise the infection by the H. pylori is there. Drug should be formulated in this approach. Okay, it should be formulated in gastroretentive drug delivery system. For example, antacid is there, misoprostol is there. Some of the drug that is principally absorbed from the stomach, means if the absorption window of the drug is stomach, then the gastroretentive drug delivery system is a suitable approach for this type of drug. For example, L-Dopa is there and PABA is there. Third one, that is suppose some of the drug is poorly soluble in alkaline pH. Okay, for example, diazepam is there, verapamil is there. Okay, this type of drug should retain in the upper part of GI tract. Why? Because if the drug is enter into the lower part of GI tract, so pH is become more and more alkaline. Okay, so if the drug remain in stomach for the long period of the time, the drug solubility is sufficient and ultimately viability of drug can be achieved. Okay, suitable viability, desired viability can be achieved. Okay, the drug that is degraded in the colonic area, for example captopril, should be targeted to the stomach to protect the drug against the degradations by the enzyme of colonic microflora. Next one, that is the drug that disturbs the normal colonic microflora. Suppose some of the antibiotics is there, for example amoxicillin is there, clarithromycin is there, tetracycline is there, ampicillin is there. This antibiotic destroys the microorganism that is responsible to produce the disease. Side by side is also disturb the normal colonic microflora. So ultimately many side effect is arise. For example, diarrhea is there. Okay, so for this type of drug molecule, the gastroretentive drug delivery system is the suitable approach. Now the next one, that is the type of gastroretentive technologies. Means in simple sense we can say is that different approaches to prepare the gastroretentive drug delivery system. Okay, in that main 5 approach is the low density approach, expandable swallowable approach is there, high density approach, wrap forming systems, and mucoadhesive system. Now among this all, the first one is the low density approach is preferable approach to prepare the gastroretentive drug delivery system. Now first one is the low density approach. Okay, it is also called as a floating drug delivery system. Means we are going to formulate the formulation in such a way that the formulations should retain, otherwise formulations should float over the gastric juice. Means we are going to make the density of formulation less than 1, so ultimately it will remain in the floating condition. Main 2 approaches is there in the floating system. One is the non-effervescent approach and second one is the effervescent approach. In the non-effervescent approach, we utilize such a polymer, that polymer when it come in contact with the water, it will absorb the water. That polymer is undergo the swelling process, is going to increase the volume and density of the formulation become less than 1. But what is the disadvantage with the non-effervescent system? The lead time to achieve the floating condition is too high. Sometimes some of the formulation that densities become less than 1 after 15 to 20 minutes. So within that time period, there is a chances of washing off formulation to the lower part of GI tract. So lag time should be less. So that's why mainly the second approach is most commonly used. That is the effervescent approach. Now what we are going to do in this effervescent approach? Okay, here in this approach with the drug molecule we use some of the polymeric components. Side by side we use the effervescent agent. For example, sodium bicarbonate is there, calcium carbonate is there. So this sodium bicarbonate, okay, when this sodium bicarbonate come in contact with the gastric juice, when this formulation that enter inside the body, okay, this sodium bicarbonate, water is penetrated into the formulation, this sodium bicarbonate come in contact with the gastric juice. Gastric juice contain the zero point 0.1 normal HCl. Reaction between the base and acid is occur, and CO2 gas is going to evolve. That CO2 gas try to escape from the formulation, but due to the polymeric matrix, the CO2 gas is not going to escape. So CO2 gas is entrapped in the formulation, and that's why the density of formulation become less than 1, and that's why the formulation is remain in the floating condition. The lag time is less than 1 minute. Okay, so that's why this approach is most commonly approached to prepare the gastroretentive drug delivery system. If I talk about the second approach, that is the high density approach. Okay, means here in this approach we are going to increase the density of the formulation. Okay, the benefit is the structure of this stomach. Okay, if you see the structure of stomach before the pylorus sphincters, the groove type of structure is there. Okay, so if the density of the formulations is more than 1, okay, is more than 2, more than 3, so ultimately that formulations will deposit in that groove before the pylorus sphincters. So our formulations remain deposited and the drug is going to release from the formulations, and sustained actions can be achieved. All the drug is going to release into the stomach for the long period of time. So to formulate this formulation, we have to add the high density component in the formulation. For example, barium sulfate is there, some of the metal component is required to be added. Okay, so here by the making the high density of the formulation, we can keep the formulation in stomach itself. Third approach, that is the expandable approach. In the expandable approach, main two types is there. One is the swelling system and second one is the unfolding system. Now what is the swelling system? Okay, in the swelling system we utilize such a polymer, mainly the PEO, polyethylene oxide grade polymers is utilized. Okay, no doubt we can use the other polymer also. That polymer swellable property is too high. Okay, swelling property of that polymer is too high. So when that formulation, okay, is enter in the GI tract, it absorb the water, so ultimately the size of formulation become too large. Okay, and that large size formulation cannot permeate through the pylorus sphincters because the gateway of the small intestine, okay, means whatever the outlet of the stomach is there, that outlet possess that pylorus sphincters. This pylorus sphincter is too small cavities, so these large formulations cannot pass through this pylorus sphincter. Okay, this is the structure of this pylorus sphincters. Okay, you can see here, this one is the pylorus sphincters. So that size is too small, and that's why these large formulations cannot permeate through this pylorus sphincter. Second approach, that is the unfolding system. Okay, in that we are going to prepare the film. That film is rolled down and it is tied up with the gelatin band and is packed into the capsule and is given to the patient. When that capsule is exposed to the gastric juice, okay, that capsule is going to dissolve. This gelatin band is going to dissolve. When the gelatin band dissolve, okay, that unfolding of this film is occur, and when the film is converted into the unfolding condition, so that long film, that flat film cannot pass through this pylorus sphincter and it return into the stomach for the long period of the time. Next approach, that is the raft system. Okay, raft system. Okay, here we are going to prepare the in situ gel. Now what is the in situ gel? In situ gel means such a formulation that is in liquid form, but when it enter inside the body, when it enter inside the body is converted into the gel form. Okay, this type of formulation should be called as a in situ gel. Okay, so here for the preparations of this in situ gel, we generally use the alginate polymers. Side by side we use the calcium carbonate. So when this formulation, when this suspension is entered into the GI tract in presence of the gastric juice, okay, is converted into the gels. Side by side calcium carbonate release the CO2 gas. That CO2 gas is entrapped in the gel, and that's why the density of gel is become low and is remain floated on the surface of the gastric juice. Okay, generally antacid is given in this formulation. So reflux mechanism is there, our body reflux mechanism is there. That reflux mechanism can be controlled by this formulation. So vomiting sensation can be decreased by this formulation. Next approach, that is the mucoadhesive approach. Okay, in this approach we are utilizing the mucoadhesive agent in the formulation. So this mucoadhesive agent have a capacity to adhere to the stomach wall, so ultimately it remains stick to the inner wall of the stomach. Okay, but what is the disadvantage of this approach? The mucus of the wall of the stomach, okay, is in the state of the constant renewal. So if the formulation attached to the wall and that mucus is undergo the renewal process, so ultimately that formulation is also wash out with the mucus component. Okay, so that's why this approach is not significantly used to make the gastroretentive formulation. Okay, if we talk about the evaluation of the gastroretentive drug delivery system, okay, general evaluation, okay, that we perform for the conventional tablet, okay, all the evaluation is required to be performed for the GREDS also, that is the appearance, hardness, friability, drug content, weight variation, uniformity of the content, dissolution time, and drug release. Now additional parameter is required to be performed. Okay, if we prepare the floating system, then there is need to determine the buoyancy lag time, means the time required to float. Okay, so the when the formulation is added into the beaker, okay, within short period of the time our formulations reach to the top, so that time period is nothing but called as the buoyancy lag time. Okay, total floating time, otherwise we also use the term floating time, okay, is nothing but the total time required. Okay, total time is there through which the formulation is remain in the floating condition. Okay, it may be 8 hour, 12 hour, or 16 hour. The density is required to be determined when we formulate the floating system. And side by side, if we formulate the non-effervescent approach, then resultant weight is also required to be determined. Okay, now once we come to know by the in vitro evaluations our formulation is capable to remain in the GI tract for the long period of the time, then there is need to cross check by the in vivo evaluation. Mainly two techniques that we use, that is the gamma scintigraphy and radiology. In the gamma scintigraphy we utilize the stable isotopes in the formulation, and that formulation is entering inside the body. Okay, it may be the animal body, it may be the healthy volunteer, and by the regular imaging we come to know what is the positions of our formulation, is remain in the stomach or is pass out through the stomach. Okay, so gamma scintigraphy and radiology, these two approach is generally used to check the positions of formulation inside the body. Okay, so this is about the gastroretentive drug delivery system. Okay, here, thanks for watching this video. Okay, for more updates, like, share and subscribe our YouTube channel Pharma Ignite. Okay, press bell icon for notification.